welcome back to the Into the Jungle podcast. My name is Jasmin Bell, joined alongside my amazing co-host. I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm Dan Hawk, the voice of the Broken Arrow Tigers, along with video producer for Arrowvision.
Awesome. Well, we're in the studio today, back from break. It was a long one, but guys, we're back in the studio with a couple of guests. I'll let them introduce themselves as well. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm a senior and I'm in student council. In student council, I'm the service officer, so I'm like a connection with Make-A-Wish and for Smile Week, and then I'm just involved in a lot of other things on campus as well.
I'm Ava. I'm also a senior. I'm involved in tons of things around campus, but the main things are student council and then an internship at elementary school. But one of my favorite things I've ever done is Smile Week.
Well, awesome. Well, we're here today to talk a little bit about Smile Week and Make-A-Wish, all things in those categories. And so we're going to start off asking a couple questions about Make-A-Wish. So if you could, explain what Make-A-Wish is.
So Make-A-Wish is an organization that likes to raise money for children to have their wish granted when they have a critical illness. So a critical illness doesn't necessarily mean they're going to die, but it's just a hard time in their life. And having a wish granted is really encouraging, and it brings like a positive thing in their life for them to look forward to.
For you, I got to ask you, how big has this been for you to when you started it to where it is now?
When I first started, I was definitely very shy, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But last year's service officer, Conley, she was amazing, and she really paved the way and showed everyone what Smile Week is going to be like and how to be involved with Make-A-Wish. And it's just really been on my heart getting to provide such a positive opportunity for these kids.
Now, Ava, can you tell us a little bit about your journey in becoming acquainted with Make-A-Wish as well?
So my sophomore year when I joined student council, they gave us this questionnaire about which boards you would want to be on. And I didn't really know what Smile Week was, but I clicked it anyway. And so I got put on the board, and our service officer that year, Sarah Shaw, we found out that we were making a pitiful amount of money compared to the other bigger schools in the state. And so she decided that that was not okay and we needed to revamp Smile Week. And so I've been there since that, which the years before we were making $5,000. And then that year we made almost $14,000,
wow.
Which was a really big deal.
That's awesome.
That's huge.
Going from that, and then we've just been building on it every year, which has been really just amazing to watch and be a part of.
So for you, seeing where it started and getting to that massive goal of 14,000, I mean, now the sky's the limit.
Yes.
Where do you see this going from here?
This year, our goal is 15,000, but I think there's potential for it to get huge if we can get, our entire school, the community bought in. I have people who I've worked with from other schools for 3 weeks who they make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, wow.
And not to say that, that's an easy goal, but I think it's definitely possible if it continues to grow and grow exponentially throughout the years.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I know making the transition from Jinx to Broken Arrow, there's something dynamic about the community here in Broken Arrow wanting to come together for a great cause. Now, Morgan, I do have a question. Now, for people who are considering joining Make-A-Wish, what's something dynamic that stands out to you about being a part of the board?
So we're on the youth leadership committee for Make-A-Wish, and all the people on there are just so dedicated to what they do. So being at a school, sometimes people don't really care or they have other opinions about it, but being on the board, you're with people who have the same values as you and they care so much about the kids, and it's really cool to be a part of that and just create those relationships with people.
Would you say that's one of the reasons why you wanted to join?
Yes. Meeting everyone has been a very cool thing, and I just have enjoyed it so much.
So I got to ask you, for the both of you, what's been the favorite part about all this?
Definitely our reveals that we do for Smile Week. Normally a kid comes to the school and we tell them that their wish has been granted, and it's just really magical to see the look on their face when they learn that their wish has been granted.
I have to agree with her. Our reveals are just it's a really special feeling. It's not something I've ever felt even kind of with something else. I've been a part of 3 now because we've had 2 with the school, and then we were lucky enough to do 1 with our council group. And it's just the happiness that comes into their eyes as they see all of it's for them. And they've been going through probably the hardest thing they're ever going to have to go through. And just to see this whole day dedicated to them, find out all this work that's been done for them, it's just a really special feeling to be a part of.
Yeah. Now, I know for me, just being acquainted with being behind the scenes and planning and the progression of events and whatnot, there has to be some difficult portions of being on the board for Make-A-Wish. And so if you guys could kind of disclose some of those things.
It definitely is very time consuming. So I'm very busy, but I have to dedicate time to make sure stuff for Make-A-Wish gets done, and it takes a lot of effort. But I'm very thankful that we have like a committee this year that's really passionate about it as well. And so it makes the work go by really fast.
I know you kind of were telling me before we started the podcast that the day in the life of Make-A-Wish, it kind of changes. Kind of wrap around that for me, for the both of you. Like, what is it day in and day out with Make-A-Wish? Start with you, Ava.
There's one day that you might be working on it for hours, and then there's another day that there's just not much you can do. When we're in the spring semester, it's a lot more work because we're working on getting our reveal ready, which means we have to design, plan, all of that to decorate the entire main building. We're getting bigger fundraisers. Our main events are normally in the spring semester. And then fall semester, it's a little bit less pressure, but it's still like you're wanting to kick off the year with a good start. And one of the hardest parts is getting people to know what Smile Week is. And so that can put a lot of work. And it can be frustrating sometimes when people don't know what it is, and so they push it to the side. So that's a lot of work trying to get people to just understand what it's for.
How about you, Morgan?
So right now we're in the process of planning a golf tournament. We're not sure if it's going to happen, but it's a lot of work trying to communicate with other adults in the area and just trying to convince them of our cause. And then we have other events where it's not the same, where right now I'm emailing him back and forth, but other times I'm having to decorate walls or put together.
You kind of get to put your hand in every side. Yeah, I get it. So
it's a wide range of things that we have to do.
I hear you. And so, Ava, you just said something dynamic. Not so many people know what Make-A-Wish is, and I feel like that's the reason why even today I felt led to get you guys on the podcast just to bring more awareness about the amazing mission that you guys have over there. And so for students that are considering joining the Make-A-Wish board, how should they go about that? Any words of encouragement for those students?
So if they're joining the Make-A-Wish board, there's a application that comes out in the spring. It's through Make-A-Wish directly. So it might be released through school stuff, but if you go straight to Make-A-Wish, they should have it. And then our Smile Week board, that's through Student Council. But I would say 100%, like if you have a passion for it and you can make time for it, I would say to do it because it's really like a life-changing thing. It changes the way that you think about hard work and the way that you think about like the results that can come from it.
How about you, Morgan?
Yeah, I would agree. So the application does come out in the spring, and you'll get to work with Erin, who is in charge of philanthropy and fundraising at Make-A-Wish, Oklahoma, and she's a really good role model, and just it's so encouraging to be on the board. So I definitely would go for it if you're interested.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to wrap up the first segment of today's show, bringing enlightenment to Make-A-Wish and all the missions that you guys support over there. After the break, we're coming back to talk a little bit more about Smile Week and how you guys can support that cause as well. We'll be back here in just a second.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Welcome back to the Into the Jungle podcast. I'm in the studio today with Dan Hawk. Morgan and Ava are in the studio as well, and we're bringing just a little bit of enlightenment to Smile Week and Make-A-Wish. This segment, we want to hone in on Smile Week. And so, Ava, if you could disclose, what is Smile Week?
So it's not just a singular week, even though it's called Smile Week. It's a year-long philanthropy project where we are raising money for Make-A-Wish, and we have a goal to send at least one child every year on their wish. So this year, our little girl, she wants to go to Disney World. She's battling a brain tumor right now, and so it's really just a way to connect as a school to do something for somebody else.
For the both of you, I know you've been entrenched with this, but how long have you been a part of it, and what's changed since you started and where it is now? We'll start with you, Morgan.
So I joined the Smile Week committee last year, and now this year I'm the service officer. Last year we raised about $14,000, right? Yeah. And so we're just trying to build off of that and just continue to push for even more community fundraising and really getting our community involved.
Mm-hmm. I've been a part of this board for 3 years now since I came to the high school.
Wow.
And I've gotten to really see it grow. My sophomore year, not very many people knew about it. We had a harder time making as much money as we did. But now I feel like even though a lot of people still don't know what it is, a lot more people do, especially getting the word out to our leadership classes. they've been really, really helpful in helping it grow.
What made you like jump in? I mean, 3 years is a long time. I mean, especially when you're starting out in high school, you're still trying to get your feet wet in the school as, hey, where's my class at? But why did you dive in so quickly with it?
Just the cause is really like, if you have the passion for it, it becomes a top priority, no matter what. So our little boy, we had a little girl my sophomore year. Her name was Hope. And
I remember, that was awesome.
Her reveal, it was just like, it changes the way you think about things. I remember she walked in and like I started tearing up because just all the work that you've put in, it's nothing compared to the work that they've had to go through just to like try and get better and get through the things that they're going through. And so to me, it's the thing, like, it's hard work and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it because if it makes them hope for their future, just like a little bit more, especially with Make-A-Wish, there's so much research that the wishes can help them to get better because it makes them want to take their medicine, want to keep fighting. And if we can be a part of just like doing that for them, it's very, very important to me. Yeah.
Now, Morgan, would you say there's a favorite part about Smile Week for you? I know, like Ava said, it's a year-long thing, but what is one of your favorite projects that you guys work on?
So the reveal where we get to tell the child that they're going on their wish trip or their wish is granted is really, really exciting. But I also really enjoy the events where high school students get to come and raise money. We do puppy yoga in the spring and just seeing everyone.
I need to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think we need a relaxation for a second. Yeah.
Seeing everyone that shows up is really inspiring because it's like students spending their own money to raise money for Make-A-Wish. And so it's cool to see everyone's dedication and how much they're willing to spend their time doing that for everyone.
For a man that has 3 dogs, I need to be a part of puppy
yoga. Yeah.
That's a must.
No, I have to ask, where do you guys come up with these amazing and creative ideas, such as puppy yoga?
We definitely spend a lot of time on Pinterest, but we also we have a lot of communication with our Make-A-Wish YLC board, and we're able to bounce ideas off of each other and kind of just talk through the pros and cons of doing events and just finding good ways to fundraise.
Now, I know Ava kind of mentioned like just the reaction when she started 3 years ago with a little girl, and she came with emotions. For you, what's some encouragement for those out there that want to maybe jump into Smile Week?
I would say just go for it. All of the work is worth it. Sometimes it feels hard, but at the end of the day, you're really like, wow, I feel like there's such a reward in it, seeing their face just light up when they learn that they're going on their trip.
That's amazing. This is going to wrap up our second segment of the Into the Jungle podcast. Once again, thank you guys for bringing some more alignment into Smile Week. After the break, we're getting to know Morgan and Ava a little bit outside of their board member roles. So stay tuned for what's coming up next. We'll be back here in just a second.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Welcome back to the Into the Jungle podcast. I'm in the studio today with Dan Hawk, Morgan Lingerfeld, and then also Ava Skipper are here today to talk a little bit about Smile Week and Make-A-Wish. And so this segment, we're going to get to know you guys outside of your board member roles. And so we just want to get to know you a little bit better, if that's okay with you guys. All right, awesome. So we'll start off with, do you guys have any family members?
So I live with my mom and my dad, and then I have a younger sister who's a freshman, and then we also have a golden doodle puppy named Lola.
Okay.
Yeah, I also live with my mom and my dad, and then I have a freshman brother. He plays baseball for the high school. And then I have 2 cats and 2 dogs.
Now, prior to the podcast, we were talking about how you guys are well acquainted with one another, but also your siblings know one another as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
What is your guys' favorite family vacation? We'll start with you, Morgan.
So I was very lucky to go to Zion National Park one year.
Oh, wow.
And I love to hike, but I also love Utah, and getting to see everything there was very, very, very beautiful. And I got to hike Angel's Landing, which
wow.
is a very cool hike. It's very.
How about you, Ava?
My favorite, so my aunt, her husband is from Scotland. They met at TU, and so when they got married, the wedding was in Scotland.
Oh,
and
wow.
That was probably my favorite, just because, like, where we got to stay in, like, this castle, which was very, very cool for the wedding. So, yeah.
That's grand. I love it.
All the way to Scotland.
I was going to say Scotland to Tulsa, then back to Scotland.
That's pretty clutch.
I love it. So then, do you guys have any hobbies outside of Make-A-Wish and Smile Week and just being a high school student? What else do you do for fun?
So I'm on a competitive dance team, so that takes up a lot of my time right now.
Busy.
Especially with auditions for colleges coming up. And then I'm also just involved in my church a lot, so.
It's not necessarily like a hobby, but I spend a lot of my free time at my internship. I'm an intern for an elementary school, and it's just like, I love it. It makes me so happy. And so I'm required to be there 2 hours a day, but most of the time I end up being there for about 5.
That's how you know you love it. Yes.
Now, both of you are seniors. Goals, where do you want to head up for college next year? Ava, you start out.
Okay. My number one choice is Stanford. If I get in, that's likely where I'll be going.
That's amazing.
If I don't get into Stanford, I'm probably going to go to OU. And either way, I'm planning on double majoring in education and political science.
So I don't really know where I'm going yet. I have been accepted into one college dance program, but I have 3 more auditions coming up in January and February that I'm really looking forward to. And so I'll hopefully be majoring in dance performance or modern dance, and then minoring in nonprofit management or like business management, something like that.
That's awesome. So outside of dance, did you grow up doing anything else?
So I played volleyball in
Yes,
middle school
come
and
on.
middle school, which I really enjoyed. But once I hit 6th or 7th grade, I kind of had to choose which one I really wanted to spend my time doing. It was just a lot of stress doing both sports.
Yeah. How about you, Ava? Did you play any sports growing up?
I played a lot of sports, but the main things I did, my family grew up going to the lake. And so I do a lot of, like, when we're there, I ski, I kneeboard, stuff like that. I love to do that.
Wow.
Kneeboarding, hiking, I think we got a good combination
I was gonna say, that's awesome. You guys seem like very well-rounded people. I love the business aspect for myself as well. I had to find a way to just kind of not be so business all the time. And so having fun hobbies such as kneeboarding or dancing sounds amazing. So I know that growing up, I had someone that I admired in a dynamic way. I'll never forget a specific teacher. So for you guys, do you have someone that kind of pushed you to go down the road that you're going now?
So I actually have 2. I have Miss Jackson, who was my kaleidoscope teacher growing up, and she really just pushed me to be like, if you want it, you have to do it yourself and really work hard for it. And then my science teacher in 6th grade, Mr. Platt, he always pushed me to have like higher expectations of myself and really work hard to do what I wanted to do.
How about you, Ava?
I don't know if I could pick just one. I went to Rhodes, and so I think like the environment there is just really special. And so almost every single teacher I had really like pushed it into us that like if you want certain things, you're gonna have to work for them. And so probably just like all my teachers in elementary school just really shaped me. Especially I had a teacher, her name was Mrs. Sadis, and then another named Mrs. Boyle, and they were amazing.
Wow.
So for the both of you, college is next. What do you kind of want to get out of the final remaining months that you have here at high school?
Well, obviously I want to do a very good job raising money for Smile Week. I think like if we could leave a huge impression for it to continue, because I don't want it, once we're gone, I don't want it to just slow down to where it was again.
Right.
So if we can really make sure that people keep that passion for it, I think that that's a huge goal of mine while I'm still here.
Yeah, I hope that our involvement with Smile Week makes an impact on the younger classmen the younger underclassmen, and that hopefully they'll be like willing to like take the challenge and continue to push for Smile Week to be even better than it was now.
Yeah, leaving a legacy is definitely something that I feel is on a lot of seniors' hearts this year that have been well-rounded and just really inside of what the school is doing and trying to get the community together and all the things. And so are there any underclassmen that you're looking forward to seeing them kind of excel over these next couple of years?
There's not like one specific one. Every single younger underclassmen in student council and like in the advanced classes and in like the leadership program, they're all very dedicated, and I just can't wait to see what they accomplish this next year.
How about you, Ava?
Say as Warren said, all the people in our programs, but also I think it'll be exciting to see who else comes in, because I know my sophomore year, our service officer, Sarah Shaw, she had never been in student council before. She hadn't been in advance. So just to see like who's going to step up to the challenge, I think it's very exciting to see.
That's amazing. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me on the Into the Jungle podcast today. Are there any final words or remarks you want to give to those considering joining either one of these amazing organizations?
I would just say take like the next step. Like if you want to be involved, come talk to us or Miss Wellborn or just anyone in student council, because it really is so rewarding to be a part of this. If you're not wanting to be like on the board but still want to be involved, we have a lot of events coming up, so be on the lookout for those and just try your best to be there.
Ava?
Yeah. I'd say just go for it because it's not a decision I've ever heard anyone say they regret. No one has ever joined it and been like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. It's always, I wish I had done that earlier. And so I would say just, if you have any doubts, push them to the side because it's just a really life-changing thing to join.
Awesome. Well, if you guys want more information concerning Smile Week or Make-A-Wish, make sure to look out on all of the Broken Arrow Tiger social media pages. And then even you could head over to Make-A-Wish or even some of our senior board accounts. We try to keep everyone in the know concerning these projects, especially things like this on the podcast. And so once again, thank you guys again. Make sure to tune in next Tuesday because staying in the know has never sounded this good.